Let's go.
Hey, hey there, and welcome back to Drink This, buddy. Great to see you.
Cheerio. Great to be seen. That's such a lame line.
Yes,
I'll
it
edit
is.
that out.
That's okay. You're a lame
Keep
guy.
going.
All right. So today, I think we're going to be trying some Zinfandels
Yay.
from California.
Love Zinfandels.
Like we said over off camera, is years ago, I used to think that this was a German wine.
Yeah, it sounds German.
It is.
It is, but it ain't.
It is. It does. It does sound German, but apparently it is of Croatian origin.
Yes.
It is.
After much discussion and actual DNA testing.
Yeah, that's what they've really broken down these grapes and found their genes.
Yeah, they know the parentage and this and that. So it's a Croatian grape called?
I can't pronounce that, but I can tell you what the Italian equivalent is.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yes. Primitivo.
Primitivo from?
Tuscany.
No. Fail.
Ah, damn it.
Puglia.
Yeah.
Puglia.
Are you Puglia my finger?
Puglia your leg. Pull the other one. It's from Puglia, the southeast, the heel of Italy. So this is also called Tribidrag in Croatian. Tribidrag.
You're just making that up.
No, it's Tribidrag, and there's the big people who really follow their wines. They say that
there's not just big people. There are little people that follow.
Yeah, I don't want to get too into the weeds in that anyways, because that'll make the show longer. So
right.
Let's skip that part.
Okay, so basically, two California Zinfandels, both 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Zinfandel is known for its high alcohol content.
Yay.
Also sweetness. And it's a full body wine. So
yeah,
let's see.
If you have a spectrum of light wines like Pinot and Gamay,
right,
and then your big full body, people think big California Cabernets. This
Correct.
is even further than that. It's like the end of the scale for
full
bodied wines.
It definitely has some punch.
As we continue on our journey, we want to try and learn more and more about wines, and for you guys, one of the best ways to learn about wines and the flavors in the wines, the aromas, is to actually get in the habit of smelling things in the grocery store, trees, leaves. If you happen to drive by an old barnyard. For example, I just took some blackberries because you see blackberry as a descriptor in a lot of wines. And a lot of people sort of may have eaten a few blackberries, but don't really know the smell. So I took blackberries, crushed them up a bit, so you can really smell that blackberry. Go ahead, try some blackberry. And really get to know what that particular flavor, so you can really nail one flavor.
Yeah, because you eat them and they taste like blackberries, or you can probably identify them, but the smell is very distinctive.
Very distinctive, and you can kind of put that in your memory bank, and you'll have a go-to aroma next time you're tasting some wines.
Right, and I mean, or you can go a step further and buy a kit, but the kits are a fortune. I was looking at that this weekend, and you're talking about for basically for maybe a 40-cent kit, $400.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
wow.
U.S. dollars.
These blackberries were like $1.50.
Yes, so collect your fruits and veggies.
All right, so try that. Next, Sebastiani.
So our first wine is a Zinfandel from Sonoma, from the Sebastiani winery. Sebastiani being an older winery. It's basically been around since the early 1900s, 1904.
Is it a family-run business?
No longer.
Like most wineries.
But it definitely was. It was a Tuscan man, immigrated from Tuscany, was a mason, but had a love for wine, and through the years bought more and more land and started growing grapes, and that's where it started. So basically the winery has been around since 1904. Cool. Was a family business up until, I guess, the late 90s, and then they were sold to a big conglomerate, the Foley Group.
Cool. And they actually survived Prohibition?
Yeah, not only did they survive, they thrived, because there was an exception made for religious groups. Mm-hmm. And so the joke is that a lot of people found religion during Prohibition.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see if we can find any religion in this glass.
So we were looking at the colors, and basically on a scale, on a color scale, this is more of a medium dark garnet. It's definitely nice and dark. Now,
Aromas, we're getting blackberry for sure, coincidentally. At least I do.
definitely. And what's nice is when we open these up and we taste them, by the time we start talking about them, they've already changed.
Yeah, they evolve a bit. I noticed baking spices in here.
Definitely
kinda
baking
nice.
spices. There is a jammy. Basically, with the high alcohol content, you would figure that there's a sweetness to it, which there is. It's definitely a jammy.
Jammy, like a berry compote.
Yeah, definitely. So, we're getting those blackberries. We're getting raspberry. I don't get too much earthy tone out of it. A little bit of leather that I didn't get earlier.
I get some nice baking spices, cinnamon, and a little bit of caramel or brown sugar. Something kind of that brown sweetness that you get in Christmas time baking. It's a nice wine.
I agree.
It's a nice wine. How
It
about
is a nice wine.
your overall opinion of this wine?
Well, we've had discussions over the last many sessions on coming up with a
we're
rating
gonna do
scale.
the scale. That's right.
And I think that we've finally come to a conclusion. We're going to be rating our wines on a 10-point basis.
Yeah.
So the Sebastiani is the lucky recipient of the first rating.
No, we did some French wines where we actually gave them a score a couple of shows ago.
On 10?
Yeah, we did. It'll be linked right up there. See the little gray thing? So, yeah, we did. So this is actually the second time, but the first official.
First official, and I would give this a 7.5. It's not a bad wine. It's nice. It's what's expected of it. But
It's what you
there's
expect
nothing,
from a Zinfandel.
But there's not much going on. It's not blowing my socks off.
Right. I agree. 7.5, right down the middle. And if you're enjoying the show and you want to help us out, do us a favor and hit the subscribe button just below. We'll really appreciate it.
What was up here?
That was a link to the old show.
Oh, okay.
Down there's a subscribe button.
Jeez, I should watch our show more often.
Yeah, at least once. At least once. So hit the subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Thanks.
So Sebastiani, the Zinfandel, not a bad wine, as we gave it.
Kind of agree. 7.5.
Yes, 7.5, and it's $22.15 at our wine shop.
Pretty good for the price.
So not too bad, reasonable, and I definitely enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely. Moving on to wine number 2, we have Napa Cellars Zinfandel, 2016, made by a fella named Joe Shirley, I saw a little clip of him on YouTube.
Surely you jest.
No, Joe Shirley. There's a clip of him on YouTube. It's pretty nice. He's a very serious winemaker, minimalist, out of the University of California, making wine for 20 years now. Napa Cellars have been around for 40 years, but they're bought out by one of those larger wine companies that now have 50 brands, including Charles & Charles, which we did on a previous show, which of course gets the link right up there if you want to see our review of Charles & Charles. And they also had...
sounds like an 80s sitcom.
Yeah, it does, eh? They also have Ménage à Trois under their brands, and The Show, which is one that's very well known.
The Show was actually a very good one.
So it's Trinchero Family Estates who own them, and they also own those other brands. But it's a similar story. Mr. Trinchero came over from Italy and actually started growing grapes and making his own wine as well. So he's a self-made man who just grew his empire over time, and now it's just a big behemoth.
So something that we've touched on before about winemakers and their passion for their craft.
Exactly.
That's, I think, something that's drawn me to wine.
Yeah.
And the other thing is sustainability.
Yeah.
The winemakers have really gone away from, basically insecticiding
style.
Everything.
Industrial agriculture.
Right. So everything that goes into their winemaking is really thinking about the environment and what you can do to maintain it over the future, which is nice to hear. I mean, even to the point where, Sebastiani are taking the old used wine casks and recycling them into flower pots and everything else.
Cool.
So, basically everything that they think of in order to preserve and recycle and reuse. So that's impressive.
Yeah, this wine is, we discussed, it's very similar in color, slightly
A
lighter.
little lighter.
So it's a medium garnet, we would say.
Yeah.
And,
But definitely garnet. So basically, we can tell that they're the same grape.
Yeah, which garnet, if you're kind of new at tasting wines and stuff, it's a tiny more brownish than a bright red or purple.
Yeah, there's a maroon tinge to it.
And on the nose, a little more going on this one. A little more of those dried fruits, caramel.
Yeah, when you inhale, there's a lot more going on.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, draw too much in to get something. Whereas the other one had a little more, needed a little more help.
Yeah. And the price on this one is $29.60, so it is a couple dollars more.
Right.
And now these are Canadian prices because we're in Canada.
Eh?
That's it. That's a fact, Jack.
So
that's nice.
Yeah, nice. It's very nice to the nose. It has a lot more going on. A little more earthy tones, a little more spice.
Mm-hmm. It's got a bit of a petite Syrah in this, which petite Syrah is usually added to blends to give it a little more backbone, a little more bite. It's usually in itself, it's a bit high in tannin, and very well. Zinfandel in general is a bold wine, as we mentioned earlier, and a petite Syrah even enhances that aspect of it.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because you're taking a bold wine and mixing it with another bold wine. But the same was the Sebastiani. It had a mix of 4 different grapes: Syrah, as well as
I guess the winemakers know that it adds to the balance or the structure.
And they experiment, right? That's the fun part. And let's try this, or let's try that, and it's a way to differentiate one wine from the other. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it tastes good. I think that the wines basically represent their themselves well.
Their price points
well. Their price points as well. So basically for $22. Not a bad wine. Mm-hmm. And for $29 was
a better wine.
Mm-hmm. And
both good value, I think.
Yeah, I think that you're not disappointed on either one.
And to recap our scores, which we're rolling out, we did 7.5 and 8, so kind of in line with their pricing.
Yeah, for sure.
So value-wise, they both get a thumbs up.
I would give it, I'm definitely not disappointed with either one of them.
Exactly.
And I think that we have a winner. And we have to find some wines that we disagree on.
Yeah.
We're much better at disagreeing than we are at agreeing. Mm-hmm. Do you agree?
No. So in recapping, a couple good wines. Ding!
Well, in recapping...
You could hit that like button down below for us. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Please
tune in next week.
Try them out. We'd love to get your feedback. And we'll see you again next episode.
Good. Cheers.
Thanks
for coming. Drink this. I will.
Cheers.
Lovely, 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 lovely. I like saying that at the end of the show. Lovely. That's a good wine. It's fine wine.